Hi everyone, welcome again to the MEQ Academy's SEL workshop. I am Chetna Singh, I am Kids and Parents Life Coach. Today's topic is anger management. Anger is the most common emotion among all, and this emotion I can say is well expressed by humans in different situations, right? So we can see lots of anger issues among all age groups. So it becomes essential to train our children to manage their anger from a very young age. So this video is for teachers and educators who wish to conduct SEL workshops in their classrooms and want to make students capable of managing their emotions. Okay, so we need to tell our children what is actually anger. So, anger is a normal, healthy emotion which tells us to gain an insight into the reasons that trigger our anger. So, anger is not bad, anger is just an emotion. It's a data which is telling us there is something, wrong with us, or there is something which is happening wrong around us. But many kids struggle to understand the difference between angry feelings and aggressive behavior. So, anger is not bad, but the aggressive behavior or the reaction after getting angry is bad. Frustration and anger can quickly become defiance, disrespect, aggression, and temper tantrums when kids don't know how to deal with their emotions. So it happens not only with kids but adults also, that they do not know many times how to manage their anger, and they show inappropriate behavior when they are angry. So, what is anger management and how it helps us? Anger management helps a child develop better ways to cope with angry feelings. So, anger management basically is a skill, by which a child or an adult can become capable of managing his or her anger. The goal of anger management is to reduce negative feelings due to that anger which has developed. This can help reduce the negative physiological changes caused by anger. Okay, so before knowing about different tips to manage anger, we must learn what are our anger triggers. So in this workshop, we will discuss around our anger triggers. So because that is important, everyone should know that what are their anger triggers. Then only they will be able to manage their anger. Okay. So this is an activity. You can take a printout of this sheet and give to your students. And you can need to tell them that there are certainly a few things that make you angry. Right? So anger is an emotion which is caused by certain reasons. Find out those triggers and write them below in the bubbles. You may write as many as you can, and one is done for you. So one is done as an example. Like, I get angry when I am hungry. So this may happen with small children, like up to 4, 5, 6 years old, that they cannot, express to their parents that they are hungry, and at that time, because of that hunger, they become angry and they show different tantrums, and they can show inappropriate behavior also. I get upset by. So what are those things which makes you upset? You can ask your children and they will write the reasons here. So basically, anger starts with just a small point that you start getting upset, you start getting irritated, but gradually, its intensity increases, and it turns into anger. I get irritated when. So what are those things which makes you, irritated? I am annoyed if. So something that happens in your life and when you become annoyed. It can be, when you are when you do not get what you want, or when someone is not listening to you, so they might get annoyed. I get furious at. So furious here is, the higher intensity of anger. So people do get furious at various situations. So you can ask the children that whether they get furious, whether their anger increases to such an intensity that they become furious, out of control, we can say. My mood switches off when. So mood switch, when your mood switches off, then it can also lead us to anger. So what are those things when your mood switches off? It can be anything, like they are asking for something and they do not get it from their parents, or they want to watch their favorite TV show and the parent is saying that they need to study at that time. So these all things can switch off their mood. Okay, so these are some of the anger trigger. First of all, they need to learn what are those triggers. Then only they will be able to work upon that. Okay, moving ahead. How anger affects us. So anger does more harm. We all know that anger does harm to us, right? And when it is not managed, that harm increases. So it can affect our body by causing severe headache and increased heart rate, may cause stress and anxiety, and it can spoil our relationship by leaving scars. So we all have heard this thing that whenever we are in angry, we should not take any decision, or we should not talk to the person who made us angry, because it might break that relationship or friendship. So we need to calm down whenever such situation happens, and we need to get out of that place to if we want to stay in that relationship or friendship, right? So there can be multiple other things or consequences, we can say, which are caused when we are angry. Okay, so moving ahead, how we can manage our anger. So as I told you earlier, that there are various things through which we can manage anger. Some of them are described here, like look at the mirror. This can be done by little children from 8 to 12 years of old. We can ask them to do this, that look at the mirror whenever you are angry. Do you like your face? Even we adult, if we are angry and if we look into the mirror at that particular time, we won't like our face, right? So next time when you have anger, remember your pretty face turning ugly. You will definitely refrain from getting into that level of anger. So we shout, we yell, we show, the different level of frustration, and we can do anything when we are angry. So if at that particular time someone shows us the mirror, we will definitely not like our face, right? So whenever we are angry, just think that okay, my face is turning ugly and I do not have to make my face like that. Okay, I do not like to show that part of my personality. So maybe at that time, if you start thinking that way, you will feel angry, but your behavior or the outcome of anger will not come in that particular way. Okay. Second is, are you irritated enough to turn it into anger? So it starts with a little irritation or annoyance and it turns into anger. Wait, have a pause, relax your mind by trying some mindfulness breathing exercise. Your irritation will fade away in no time. Try it. So, mindfulness breathing exercises are very effective to relax, to calm down, to take a pause so that you won't react to certain situation to make it worse. Okay, angry or hungry, as I told you, that people do not identify that whether they are angry or hungry. So look out for the reason. If you feel angry whenever you are starving, then have short intervals between your meals. Grab some healthy snacks or fruits. Tell your mom that you cannot stay hungry for long. So this thing also happens with adults, that when they are hungry or starving, they become angry, right? So this is also a trigger that you should realize, you should identify and start working on it. Okay. Next is, acknowledge your emotion of being angry. Reach out for the reason that made you angry. So if you are angry, then you need to tell that you are angry. Even if you are not telling it to anyone else, at least accept it on your own, that okay, I am angry, and then find out the reason. Okay, this is the reason. This particular thing or this person has made me angry, or whatever thing. If someone says something to us and we do not like it, we become angry. But we do not have to react in certain situation, right? Every other person has different perspectives. So we do not have to get angry in everything whatever other person is telling us. Okay. Here again, you need to calm your mind, So for that, you can also grab a glass of water, have it, and then respond to the situation. Don't react in any situation. So what makes the situation worse? When we start reacting, without thinking. Okay, so we need to think, we need to feel it, and then we need to respond later. Take your time, take a pause, and respond later. Whatever you have to say it, but in a proper way. Okay. Anger may vanish away when you laugh and watch comedy shows, cartoons, or movies to lighten your mood. So this happens with me. Whenever I'm angry, if I talk to someone, if I take a walk, or if I start watching some comedy shows, which are obviously my favorite, this lightens my mood, and I do not react in those situations. Okay. So these are some of the tips. There are, umpteen tips by which children can manage their anger. If you want more tips, you can write to us. So here comes the last part of the workshop, which is reflection. So these reflection questions are just for just example. You can add on your question also. So you can ask them that did you like the session? How would you manage your anger from now onwards? So whatever they have learned, whether they have learned or not, or whatever tip they have picked up, whatever they like, that this is the thing I will do whenever I'll get angry. You can ask them to share with the whole class. What was the most exciting part of the session? Whether they liked it, whether there was something which was exciting for them or not. Ask them. And how you can make it more effective, how you can make it more enjoyable for children, you can ask that also. What is your takeaway? Okay, so after every session, after every SEL session, you need to ask them that whatever they have learned, whatever they are taking away from this session, they need to share it with the whole class, and what action plan they will take after doing this session. Okay, you can make it more informative, you can make it more enjoyable by adding different crafts or drawing activities in it. You can also ask children to make their anger face. They will make their face or some smiley or emojis to show their anger face. They will love it. Okay, so this was all for today. So we are every time open for chat. You can reach to us with this phone number. You can have a chat with us in WhatsApp. You can email to us, and you can give your suggestions and different thing, whatever you want to write. This is our website. You can go to the website and you can see what else we are offering to the people. This is our YouTube link. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get more SEL workshop. You can get a knowledge of emotional intelligence and different things which we are providing. Right. So this was all for today. Thank you. Bye.